Hello, fans across Green Country and the world. I'm Jay the Blues Man.
I'm the Wonder Midget.
And I'm Chocolate Deity.
On behalf of Fanboys 918, we are broadcasting live from the super secret studios high above Jinx, America, where we discuss all things fandom.
For all our horror fans out there tonight, we're discussing Fear the Walking Dead and the current status of the Walking Dead franchise on this episode of Geek Speak that begins right now. So first we want to shout out to our fellow Fanboys 918 behind the cameras tonight, and those of you watching and commenting online. We always encourage fan participation, so please comment and give us your thoughts in the comments section. As a special treat for you fans, at the end of our broadcast this evening, we'll be showing the Fanboys 918 short, Wasteland, that was produced and directed by our own Mr. Narwhal, Dwayne Robinson. He's the commander of our Fanboys 918 Northern Outpost.
The Walking Dead series was developed for television by Frank Donabont and is based on the comic book series by Robert Kirkman, Tony Moore, and Charlie Adlard.
Yeah. This Sunday, September 29th, is the final episode for Fear the Walking Dead. So we're going to start tonight's discussion with that show. Season 1 hooked me because the fans got to experience what we missed at the beginning of The Walking Dead. Rick Grimes was in his coma.
And as our fans recall, The Walking Dead began with Rick Grimes awakening from his coma to an abandoned Atlanta, Georgia. Luckily, Rick was found by Dwayne and Morgan, who is now showrunner on the spinoff, which I thought when they did that was a great bridge between the two shows.
Yeah, for me, Season 1 Fear the Walking Dead is that missing time period during Rick's coma. As a fan, to see what's happened as society degraded throughout the initial weeks and months of the zombie uprising.
The way the core characters of The Walking Dead were introduced to us and how they were all brought together. Rick's family, his partner Shane, Carol and Sophia, Daryl, Glenn, Dale, Andrea, her sister, and the rest.
In Fear, we get to see how these communities initially worked through that chaos that was happening.
You see, I like Season 1. Season 1 is the best one to me so far.
Yeah.
Because it was a great opening. You got to see what the world was like when Rick Grimes was still in his coma and everything like that. And it led on, it introduced us to the characters in the Fear of Walking Dead pretty greatly and just got us connected from the jump. That's how I felt.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Jason Barker just tuning in. Hey, Sprout, what's going on? Season 2 and 3 were well received by fans. I liked Season 2 and 3.
I agree.
I did too, yeah. It was better than it started teetering off at the end.
Yeah, Season 4 is where the reviews started to diverge. Some of the fans were bored calling Fear the Walking Dead another zombie soap opera and likening the spinoff to Zombies, the after-school special. The replacement of some of the major characters, including the showrunner Nick, I think contributed to that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you lose those you love, and I feel like Fear the Walking Dead wrote Nick out of the show in a way that at least gave the loss of his life some depth.
Mm-hmm. Whereas in The Walking Dead, Rick Grimes is now gone, maybe injured, maybe not. There's a lot of speculation. And where the heck is Maggie and baby Herschel? No one seems to know. Which led to the lack of closure for fans, in my opinion. Definitely, in my opinion. Like when Negan took out Glenn and Abraham. It was brutal. It was in your face. It was violent. It was awful. Yet it drove the fans to hate Negan, and that was the entire point. And it solidified the bond between the main characters.
Yeah. See, that's what I liked about it. I did actually, from the jump, like Negan. Even though I was watching him beat my favorite character to death.
Did you show him your shirt?
I liked Negan.
So, yes.
Lucille is thirsty. That's nice. I want one.
Okay, so for the record, I am a huge Negan fan. You gotta love him, and you gotta hate him. He's just awful, but I am a big fan of the actor. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a fantastic actor. I like everything he's been in, so I'm a big fan too.
Oh yeah, and then Maggie and Baby Herschel, they're with Georgie. Remember that the gray-haired woman they met on the they met on the middle,
Yes.
no, in the road with the records and everything. They actually went to go with her, and they're at her community for the time being. Apparently, that's what they said in the show. Yeah, but then back to Fear the Walking Dead with Nick's death. it was just random. It was like, I don't know. This the way they did it didn't really do him justice.
And it didn't sit well with me either. I mean, not
Right.
that. Just I think talking to a lot of the guys that do watch the show, I think that sentiment rings true through a lot of people.
Yeah, and I see exactly what you're saying. I think for me, the fact that it was kind of senseless, it felt empty, but then the part where it gave it depth was the fact that Alicia and Charlie later on had to deal with something together, and Alicia eventually, brought Charlie in under her wing and kind of forgave her for murdering her brother senselessly.
Yeah.
So, season 5, episode 3 is one where June and John take shelter from that massive dust storm that kicks up, and they have a rough run-in with Dwight.
Yeah, I know.
I was so excited. I was always wondered what happened to Dwight from The Walking Dead,
Right.
and I didn't expect them to bring this character back, let alone on the spinoff.
And the story of Sherry's notes, it's very romantic. And, at one point, when John finds one of Sherry's notes, it is revealed that she had given up hope of Dwight ever finding her. And, I mean, that was just a hard loss for him to read. You could just see it written all over his face. That bonded that they had for all this time just was shattered instantly. But Sherry did encourage him to, if he's still looking to stop and just move on. Why would she give up?
See, and that's the other thing. Maybe Logan or Virginia were hot on her trail, and she didn't want Dwight into harm's way.
Good point.
They lived through Negan's abuse, and as we've learned through the franchise, every villain seems worse than the last one. Logan's kind of like the governor a little bit without the small township to rule, and Virginia is really leaning a bit more toward the Negan side of the baddie.
Yeah, and I'm really not liking that character. Just gotta say for the record.
No, me either. But with the Dwight and Sherry thing, I have speculation where I didn't hear this from anywhere. This is just my personal belief. I believe that she's going to show up in the Rick Grimes movies. And I only say that because when she left that note in The Walking Dead, it had those 3 circles, like what is it, the Omega, Alpha, Omega, whatever the sign is.
Well, she has the infinity thing that she puts, but
But then on the helicopter in the teaser
That's
for the
right.
Walking Dead movies where Rick Grimes,
Which is
it
for
has the same symbol.
The toxic symbol.
So it's on the helicopter.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like she's going to be in there, and I feel like she's going to make an appearance somehow, some way. But they could just leave it like they did Heath in The Walking Dead, where Heath was with Tara, and then he just out of nowhere vanished, and his glasses were missing. He found that PPP sign or whatever it was, and he has yet to be seen at all. And
That's
so I hope they
true.
don't do the same thing.
that might be neat to even bring that one back in too. All those people say, "Oh, I forgot about them."
Right, I forgot about you. Oh, you've been here the whole time. Rick's like, I'm looking for my family. Then shows up someplace and says, oh, hey, I found the rest of the people that I forgot all about.
Yeah, and I mean, I like that they brought Dwight back, and Dwight reuniting with Morgan for me was a big thing. I couldn't wait for them. I was like, I know they're going to make us wait one more episode before Dwight and Morgan, but I was on the edge of my seat. And Morgan had evolved and returned being the good and helpful man we knew him as from The Walking Dead. Dwight was uneasy about the reunion because Daryl had exiled him from Alexandria at the end of season 8 of Walking Dead and told him to go find his wife.
That's true. You mean after having almost killed Morgan's friends again?
Again, exactly. The fact that he'd been a double agent for Alexandria after Sherry had escaped. And that's the only reason Daryl did not kill Dwight. So Morgan said exactly what I think Eastman, the cheesemaker, would have said. You don't have to say it. Not now. I know how it ended for you. But we're all trying to start over. And Eastman absolutely would have followed up with, how long you been stuck here? Enough said in my book. All things considered, I think it was a good way to introduce Dwight to fear.
Yeah,
I do completely agree with that, Laura.
I believe so as well. And I like the fact that they brought Dwight to Fear the Walking Dead. But also, speaking of Fear the Walking Dead, the last episode of season 5 coming on Sunday, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So, I have heard speculation from people who have seen early showings of said episode, the season finale, and a lot of them are really pissed off. Like, pissed
Oh,
off.
tell us
Yeah.
about this.
Okay, so they say it's rumored, not 100% true.
Yeah, that's
Not-
right.
Not
So-
confirmed. I'm not going to say any light spoilers or anything like that. But light spoiler.
And I haven't heard any of this.
Yeah, see, so I'm not going to name drop anything or anything like that. I'm just going to give you just what's going on. So, at the end, in the episode, said major character gets fatally wounded. Right? It's speculated that said character may die,
Okay.
but it ends as a cliffhanger again.
Oh, you mean they're going to pull a Rick Grimes on us?
Pretty much. Yeah, with a major character. And I'm like, wow, okay, so that's just, they didn't learn their lesson from the whole Madison thing, of like, Madison's alive
Oh
or
my
not,
God,
and then just
yes.
like, oh, hey, bomb drop. Oh, look, this is her last scene. She's dead.
And I think that's why a lot of the reviews have just gone down but that's a hard thing to think. You know, we want the people we love to keep going on, but bad stuff happens and life's not fair, and that's kind of what they're trying to tell us, but I still don't like that they killed off Madison.
Now on Fear of the Walking
agree with
Dead. Fear of the Walking Dead. Morgan, I like that Morgan is now teaching Alicia to use the staff. She, according to Lenny James, who plays Morgan, Carrie is a very fast learner. She picked up the skill very quickly. She then learned. Then she had to pretend on set to be so during the filming, and that proved to be fun for him and very challenging for her.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's been hard. It has to be hard to fake being bad at something.
It is. Like, at my job,
Well, not just that, but you're
Yeah,
doing it
especially
over
your
and
job.
over for
Yeah.
all the
yeah.
different takes.
oh, yeah.
You know,
You
you're
have
just
to,
like, let me
hold
just
back
nail
on it.
this thing real quick. I can do this. But no, you got to be bad.
Mm-hmm. See, I have clients, right, young and then old. I'm stressing them out. Like, the men, like, they're tight and everything like that. I can really crank and push. But I had this
Right.
old woman today. I was barely, like, it was hard I was sweating. I was straining back so much to hold back.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah,
personal
yeah.
trainer, by the way.
Yes,
Personal
yes,
trainer, okay.
yes,
I'm a
yes.
personal trainer, by the way.
Thank you for
Just to clarify.
Commentary was
Just
getting
clar-
kinda
Yes.
interesting, like,
Yeah.
Oh, wow, what's he doing for a
Clarify.
living over there?
Clarify,
Yeah.
personal
"Hey,
trainer.
but everywhere I go."
It's a Christian establishment. You know?
Exactly. But you know, he's helping people.
Yes.
That's exactly
That is,
right.
and that is the main point. Helping people help themselves.
Give it up for myself. That's what I'm
So,
doing.
well, you know, going back to Morgan on a personal line, I like that he's finally given into his feelings for Grace. By the way, we have Candy Beansies.
Yes, Candy Beansies.
So here's some Candy Beansies for everybody. This one is the Star Wars Candy Beansies.
Oh, yeah.
Also known as jelly beans. And then these
Yes,
are
to the rest of the world.
These are the Finding Nemo ones. So
Wow, those are pretty, actually.
yeah, those are they sparkle. I don't know, that scares me.
I'm going to get the black one.
But those are licorice ones. Those are good for you, man. Put hair on your chest. But I mean, they don't have much time together with her cancer and all, with Grace's cancer. But I'm glad that he loves her enough to be there, to be present and enjoy the time they have for Grace. I mean, it's quality over quantity.
I have a couple different points on this. I do like the fact that they're actually showing him starting to let some of those guards down, because he has been such a walled-off character from the tragic loss early when we were first introduced to him, and then of course he goes on hiatus doing his soul searching, and then he comes back to the group on The Walking Dead. But during this, he still has those walls up. He started taking his walk clear across the United States, or halfway across the United States.
Yeah, and by the way, just to interject real quick, we the most recent episode, Jay and I paused it, looking at the map that June was writing
Oh
on.
yeah, oh yeah.
She made an X. I swear, I just moved back from Texas. At one point, I was working in Fort Worth. We're talking 3 miles from the office I used to work at.
That's where the X on her map during that episode was.
So shout out to anybody in the 817 over off Vickery Boulevard and Hewlin.
Morgan and Grace, they do have a mutual connection, affection for each other. I think that they're both in denial about wanting to admit their true feelings or give into those true feelings in an effort to spare the other from emotional anguish.
Wrote Nick out of the show.
To some people, it just feels kind of like they're just dragging it out. I mean, I'm in the mindset that if you care for somebody and you obviously feel that they care for you, this is post-apocalyptic. You know, you have a short life. You know that all life is precious at this point in time. You might as well just go out there and swing and bat for it, and maybe you can hit a home run, maybe strike out. But if you don't do something, you're missing out.
I feel like they're taking it like, so this is my speculation again, but like, so I feel like the Morgan and Grace thing is happening like how on The Walking Dead, it seems like bits and pieces like Connie and Daryl.
Yeah.
At some bits and pieces.
Yeah, Carolyn, it's a little bit. It was like it was sort of there, but not.
Yeah, because it's like, because Daryl's walled off too. I see Morgan and Daryl have some similarities. They're not like similar at all, but they have certain similarities. Like, they're both walled off, even though they've been so close to people.
Similar
Daryl still has walls.
Yes.
Like, he went off after Rick died and left. He went off into the mountains and the woods and stopped communicating with everybody. Built his walls back up, and he's coming back around to, you know, be with Lydia and then help them with the Whisperers and all that stuff, but he still has those walls up too. And I feel like that's the same thing with Morgan. He's been through his loss and everything like that. He goes through Psycho Morgan, Sane Morgan, Psycho Morgan, Sane Morgan again.
Yeah,
and again,
he
and it has
does.
those walls up as well. And so that's why I find a little bit of correlation. I feel like Morgan kind of brought a Daryl-esque atmosphere when he went through The Walking Dead.
We have a comment online here. The comments earlier reminded me of how Daniel Craig didn't want to lose Mads Mikkelsen during the making of Casino Royale.
I think they were talking about when you don't mind the peanut gallery.
No,
Yes, please,
Well,
staff
you
can
talk about
explain
the
this.
staff, you know, when she was working with the staff.
Yes.
Like, maybe
Yes.
she's an actor. Well, it kind of reminded me of the comments. She was like, man, you know, I got to keep doing this for every take. But Daniel Craig hated continually losing to Mads Mikkelsen in Casino Royale when they were shooting that scene.
Yeah.
Because he's like, man, I can beat him.
I can take him.
I can
Come on,
take
Jim,
him.
come
Yeah,
on, come on.
okay.
Because of the needs of the script. He
Needed to,
yeah.
right. So we'll keep moving on here. I want to go talk about Strand and Daniel. And yeah, we read that comment. Hey, Cindy Brown, what's
What's up,
up? Strand finally gave up on trying to win Daniel over at one point, knowing that the next time they met,
Yeah,
Daniel
at
had
gunpoint.
promised to kill him. But then Victor Sweet talked his way out of it again for a short time, and then again got on Daniel's bad side yet again before he left.
Yeah, but honestly, Strand, that's not a hard stretch.
No.
Strand's always pissing somebody off.
That's true.
Yeah, it's just him.
And at this point, Strand had gotten over himself. He no longer was a self-serving narcissist that Daniel remembered, and Victor didn't give a damn what Daniel thought. And regardless of his own personal peril, he carried on helping others, just as Madison would.
That's true. And for Strand, at this point, to get over himself isn't a small feat.
Yeah. He's one of those characters that has like an undeserved sense of entitlement. Almost.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's
absolutely.
like I don't care for those people in real life.
No.
You know, so if you're gonna throw it at me in a TV show, I'm gonna be like, okay, automatically on my shit list. Like, I don't want to listen or I don't want to watch this guy.
Agreed.
Because he's terrible. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you love to hate him in a
Exactly.
way. It's like the fact that when he and Nick were in the first season, they were in the cages and stuff, and you know he gave away his gold cufflinks to get them out. You know, that's perfectly
nice
along
throwback.
what you were saying about that entitlement. I mean, Daniel gave Victor a chance, and in doing so, he found Alicia again, as well as meeting and getting to know Charlie, who he has endeared himself to. And I kind of like that after the loss of his daughter, in the wake of his renewed faith in the future. So even going so far as to insist on Dwight having a proper haircut.
Which is a nice tie back to season 1. When we first were introduced to Daniel. If you guys remember, I mean, he was a barber by trade, and that is how he served and contributed to his community.
Even after everything that he went through in South America, and we learn about that kind of a hard way, but before seeking citizenship in the U.S., he did bad things for the greater good, defending those who couldn't defend themselves back in the day. He was properly trained to stand up to post-apocalyptic bullies for sure.
Yeah,
Well said.
Those are the people you gotta love to have in the show too, because they
Yes.
keep like some kind of sense of humanity almost to the show too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're always looking out for people and they're here to help. Like in The Walking Dead, how they have their community, like their family that's knitted close together. They're always looking out for each other. So it's good to have those people
Absolutely.
too. Because sometimes when you just have people who are, this is the word, egomaniac almost. It just doesn't really pull much together. It adds interesting flair to it because then you have, people who are part of the good group, but you still don't like them.
Right.
It's better for me to like love and hate some of the main group than just to love all of them.
Speaking of love and hate, we're going to shout out to another viewer out there, Eli Salazar.
What's up,
Vasquez,
Eli?
hey.
Eli,
Stay-
how's it going, man?
Yes, right.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you
pasa,
for
amigo.
joining us.
Stay gold roper.
Oh Lord.
So, you know what? I don't recall at this point if Daniel knows that Charlie is the one who killed Nick.
I can't
Not that
remember.
it matters at this point, as she and Sheila have come to terms with it and moved on, but,
I don't know either.
yeah.
Yeah,
I really don't know.
and definitely, I don't, like I said, I don't recall either. I'm trying to, so many years of watching The Walking Dead, that's just one thing, but I really don't think that would ever be an issue with him.
Well, I don't
because
think
of the
it will
bond
be,
that they have
but-
created. But I do like when Alicia's never give up attitude broke, and we saw her just fractured, and Strand picked up her weapon of choice and was there for her during her darkest moment, as she worked through her issues, or at least attempted to work through her issues.
Yeah.
Victor most certainly found that inner strength, and I like how he is channeling it to protect a group, but specifically at that time, Alicia.
See, I'm still trying to figure out if she knows that Charlie killed Nick or not. Because I feel like in that moment, it's just like, it's one of those things like, I don't know if I like that being kept away from them.
From Daniel?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, the fact that she and Alicia have worked through it, I think eventually be okay, but it does make me wonder, how would he view her knowing, would he forgive her the fact that she's so young? Because, I mean, it's hinted that she's 13 maybe, 14 at the most.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Somewhere around there. Yeah. So, but...
I think, I think that bond, I agree with you. I think that it's probably going to come out.
Yeah.
But if and when it does come out, or when and if it does come out, the bond that those two have formulated, I mean, the music, and not just any music. And for me, the Blues Man is my thing. The music that they listen to together, I just thought was absolutely righteous. It is the old school blues, and it just doesn't get more pure than that.
And in honor of Daniel, Jay actually has brought one of his guitars again tonight.
Yes.
He brought, and go ahead and pull it up here. I want you to show it.
I will show everybody. So
what would you play in a post-apocalyptic world? You'd have to make your instruments out of anything you could find. So
this is something that a lot of people have put together. You can sit there and make this acoustic. You can, if you could lucky enough to find an amplifier to rig this up. But this is a cigar box guitar. This is actually hand built.
But that's the kind of thing
Kansas.
that's the kind of thing that they would probably have.
Absolutely. Now they did find her a nice acoustic guitar.
Well, Grace found that nice guitar, and Grace can play. So.
Oh my God, can Grace play? I'm like, heck yeah. We need more people like her. Let's find all the musicians together, because music, I gotta say this, I'm gonna go off on a small tangent. Music is the one thing, okay, that transcends everything and everybody. I don't care where you grew up. I don't care what the color of your skin is. I don't care of how much money you had growing up or how little money you had growing up.
He doesn't care what planet you were born on.
It does not matter, because one thing that was proved way
right.
back in the 80s when we did Live Aid.
85.
85, thank you. Tremendous concert, affected so many people positively. That proved it doesn't matter what language you speak. All it proves is that music transcends everything, and through music, that is the one conduit that we can unite this entire world. Because we did it before.
Yeah, and who was the guy that's on The Walking Dead? The guy that he was about the violin, the new group, Magnus group?
Luke. The dude from Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, and I like how they brought the musical aspect into The Walking Dead through that character of Luke in Magnus Group.
Yeah, see, I just wish that they would take the talent from Fear the Walking Dead's music and put it into The Walking Dead, because Alden they're like, "Oh, hey, sing us a song," and he's just like, "Oh, there on the sea." I'm like, "Dude, whoa, whoa. Alpha did Enid a favor. Thank you very much. That's wow. I'm sorry.
We got
That was messed up.
like to do a special shout out real quick to Lexi. My daughter just joined us. Hello,
Hey, Lexi Bug.
Hey, we miss you.
She's a big Walking Dead fan.
Oh my God! I mean,
She's
absolutely.
doing her room. So, that being said, there's a little continuity with the timeline, and when you consider the fact that Morgan had to walk all the way halfway across America, how long did that take? And then he's going to come back, and between season 8 and season 9 of The Walking Dead is that 6-year span. So it makes me wonder, they're trying to head back that way is kind of what Morgan is going for. Is that if I'm thinking correct?
I've heard him say
And I think that would be wonderful if they could eventually meet back up with them, and that's where that kind of continuity. Boy, they'd have a jamming band, wouldn't they?
Oh,
with
they
Luke,
would.
especially if Grace survives, which I really don't think so. She's sick. So, but a lot of the additional characters that they have, the addition of Wendell and Sarah, as well as Grace and Althea. Wendell saving the day by getting the Christmas lights on for the runway.
Oh my God!
That was a tough scene. We listened to Chill talk about that on The Talking Dead. But Sarah, I love her for her love of beer. She loves beer as much as BB and all my great aunts, all the great aunts that we had.
And the fact that she is striving to become a brewmaster. I mean, that's just local breweries. And for
I hope she finds her groove on that.
I do too, because I know a lot of people that here are in the 918 that support the local breweries, microbreweries, and we have some of the most talented people just here in the 918 that are doing this craft. And I tell you what, I've drank a fair variety of them. A few friends of ours experience even more.
So let's raise our glass.
And on that note, we're going to raise a toast.
Yeah, I know we're drinking wine tonight, but I hope that all of you brewers survive the zombie apocalypse.
Absolutely.
I'm going to drink to that.
Because we won't survive it without you.
That's right. Now, Althea, I like this character. Oh, I better drink. Because that's bad luck to toast and not drink.
That's right.
And my mother will haunt my ass. So, Althea... Yeah. She was already in our electronics playing with us earlier. So I like the character Althea. She's like the scribe who has compassion in her heart, but she's the scribe of the group. And Sarah and Wendell have already been out helping people. Their group were the ones leaving the boxes of water and food along the road. You know, it said, take what you need, leave what you don't. See you further up the road. That last part eventually evolved to say, help when you can.
Yeah, see, that brings me back to my earlier point where I like having those people who are always looking out for other people, like seeing the good in the world, like saying, like, not everybody you come across is going to be some kind of psychopath maniac who's going to try to kill you or steal your stuff. They're still looking out for the people because they know there's people still out there trying to struggle to survive.
And they're going to be good people like John Burke, who is now tuning in. Hey!
Yeah, I do love
John Burke's not going to be one of those people. Continue what you were saying.
I do love I do love how the dynamic of what they're doing and how it has evolved into what it has become. What you said, not just seeing the good people they're trying to find, actively trying to pursue and see if they can find them to bring them in so they can just expand and help so many people that way. You have greater strength in numbers.
Exactly. Especially if it's with people that you can trust. Right. And knows out there for your best interest as well. Right. And not people that you got to sit there and wonder, well, are they on my good side right now? Are they for me right now? Or are they against me right now? Because it's been back and forth so many times.
Oh, and what is the new character's name? The guy that was painting the trees that seems to be sweet on Alicia?
Oh, the guy on the Harley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
What's his name?
I don't know.
But anyway, he's one of those people that's right along that line of, he was already kind of sort of doing something, painting the trees and stuff all by himself. He wasn't with the community. And that gave you that sense that you could kind of already trust him. And Alicia really wanted to. And I like how he's endeared himself to the group. I think he's going to be a wonderful addition.
I do too. And you kind of see a little bit of a spark between him and Alicia. Just a little bit.
I hope so, because she lost the love of her life at the beginning, and they were going to go off to college together. and she found not only somebody like him, but somebody that was him and even better.
Well, he was the
like
both
heart.
they both share that
Kindred
artistic
spirits.
aspect.
Yes, kindred spirits.
Kindred spirits.
Absolutely.
Very good word. That's the word of the day.
Kindred spirits.
Kindred spirits.
Bing. Coined
Bing.
it. No, I'm just kidding.
Done.
So some of the other groups that are on Fear the Walking Dead, do you ever wonder if the kids knew where to find those boxes? They had a great system of scavenging.
Mm-hmm.
They remained radio silenced regarding their position, as well as designated meetup points when they couldn't discuss those things.
That's true. I'm thinking they must have. They never went far beyond their border of biters, unless absolutely
That
necessary.
border of biters.
Which was kind of brutal and just awful. I mean,
It freaked me out that it was the kids that had come
Yeah,
up with
I
that.
was like,
Spoiler alert, by the way. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, these kids. I mean, they're just walking in between them and rigging them up, and it's like, wow, I just never saw that coming. That was a nice surprise.
So that's
I
pretty
like being
bad-
surprised.
That's pretty badass kids on these shows.
Oh yeah,
On
yeah.
Fear the Walking
They
Dead
have to
and
be.
The Walking Dead. Oh yeah.
Everybody's out. I mean, everything's out to kill them.
Pretty much. Yeah. Very true. Very true. It's the environment that they grew up in.
It is, and you've got to learn to. Sometimes you got to learn to be tough. And, I mean, when Alicia found their camp, the landscape didn't seem to be even farmed, and I saw no water collection systems. Although the Tarzan treehouse thing was pretty darn cool.
Pretty cool.
And I have to say, my brother put up one of those rope escape things in his treehouse. I didn't use a treehouse that he and my dad put 30 feet up in a tree. I usually hung out in the little fort that we dug out by the creek bank at the base of the tree lines. But both the treehouse and the fort were by a fresh water supply. That creek is a tributary from the Delaware River, you know, the one that Washington crossed way back in the day.
Ooh.
Oh
Yeah. So, but I digress.
Way back
We
when.
were prepubescent preppers and we didn't even know it.
Well,
so.
that's a tongue twister right there. I won't be able to even.
That's
No.
the word of the night.
That's
no
the
doubt.
word of the night.
Okay.
And bartender, I
I
need
can't even
another
say it.
a refill.
I can't even say
Big-
it. Oh
So-
man, see those kids on the show, the kids like with their camp, it kind of reminded me and brought me back to not brought me back, but reminded me of the episode of The Walking Dead with Michonne, like where her
Yes.
friend came back to the
She and
Alexandria.
Andrea?
No.
Yeah,
In season 9,
Oh,
with
yes,
those,
with her
yes,
friend.
with her friend, and then those kids ended up like
Oh,
kind of
my
marking them with the
God.
X's. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but it's been out for a minute, so
Yeah.
shame on you.
Well, we
should have
made
already seen
sure
it.
that when
Mm-hmm.
we created this event that this was not spoiler free.
True.
Not spoiler free.
This is for the fans.
But that brings me back to the saying, like, these kids are, like, awesome. Like, they'll do some ridiculous, messed up things. If they're brought up a certain way, people tell them it's the right thing to do and stuff like that. And it just correlates both the shows
Like an
together. for me.
indoctrination, sort of.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what brings me to.
Those pioneer skills are some of the many reasons why I chose you. Okay, I'm just going to say that because you have some great pioneer skills, and the fact that I remember years back when we just really started trying to really develop our taking our friendship to the next level. You know, we're sitting here talking about
If the
you know,
apocalypse
what
comes down,
happens
he
if-
picks me.
I'm like, this is my girl because she's like, we're going to get our community together. We're going to see. We're going to strategize what strengths everybody has, what weaknesses. We'll pair the
Yeah, you're
weaknesses
in,
up
by
to
the way.
all. Yeah,
Good.
absolutely. To pair them up, and I'm
Security.
like, you're really like
And
putting some
whoever
serious
else
thought
you
in
wanna
this.
Hey, you're more like a Deanna figure.
That's fine. You have no limit. So whoever you want to bring, you're on the compound
Hey.
for sure.
Well, and that brings.
But I love that shtick though, that they have going with the different names that they have for the zombies.
Oh, yeah.
Because in this universe, you know, zombies don't exist in this universe, so they have to kind of, you know, up before Fear the Walking Dead happened. Let's go back.
Okay.
The Walking Dead had at least 13 alternate names for the words zombies, which that in itself was kind of a fun thing. So, you know,
Yeah, on The Walking Dead, they were referred to primarily as walkers. The concept of the zombies does not exist in this universe.
Right.
Given the nature of the zombie virus, the verbiage "infected" is also used in both shows. These nicknames will include the walkers, biters, cold bodies, creepers, dead ones, floaters, geeks, lame brains, lurkers, monsters, roamers, rotters, and skin eaters.
Yeah, see,
I think that's most of them.
I like walkers and the cold bodies. No, and the geeks. When I'm like,
And the
I'll be
geeks.
playing like Call of Duty on my Twitch, and
Yeah.
I won't even say zombies anymore. I'll be like, oh, look out for the walkers. Walkers coming through the building and everything like that. But all the terms are accurately creative ways of avoiding the word zombie, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like before Morgan arrived on Fear the Walking Dead, they were called the Infected, but but Morgan's arrival signals a bridge between the two shows, and I think the group now calling them walkers is a way that really illustrates like the connection between the two
Oh,
shows. what Morgan brought
yeah.
to it.
That actually bridges it real good. Yeah. But, with our group, we'd probably end up calling them grumps. Bonk, bonk, on the head.
Bums. I call them bums.
Bums. That's a Star Trek reference for,
Bonk.
the original series, bonk, bonk, on the head. So, but I've also enjoyed the creative special effects, the movie makeup, magic, the actors who play the zombies. Because you got to go to like zombie college for that. But like with the Alien franchise, they were able to reinvent the xenomorph. Originally, they had the 4 different variations of the alien/monster, and the sequels were able to justify the creative changes to the monster based on the gestational host. The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead give us new versions of the dead, creatively reinventing the zombie. A good example would be the kids. As we mentioned before, the border of biters. But those were some gory scenes, so I was unable to find any pictures for our broadcast. But for you sick bastards, I looked. So, but one of the other ones was at the heap.
That thing was. I saw
That
a
thing was
glimpse
awesome.
of that,
That was epic.
and as like a teaser, and I'm like, what the crap is that? That is something next level awful.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
I
a
can't remember what
nightmare
they
within a
called it.
nightmare.
I can't remember what they called him. It was some dude's name.
But I mean, on The Walking Dead, I mean,
Well, we have seen walkers crawling along the ground with no legs. Also, Negan used, if you guys remember, in his chain link.
oh yeah,
Simon and,
So the fence.
oh yeah, Simon.
Yes, as a double deterrent. Outsiders better not try to break in, and those on the inside better not cross Negan, or you wind up on the fence.
Just like
Exactly.
Simon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
Simon did. Simon, I was so excited for that part.
Oh yes, I was like, yes.
I was
Finally.
like, all right, I really like Negan, but everybody hates Negan, so we kind of need to take the hate from Negan, and they did a good way with that by making Simon really like the big, big bad guy, but not really like big, big bad guy, but making him out to be more of a douchebag than Negan
Exactly.
was. So he went straight.
Exactly.
Negan straight up was like, kill one. We only kill one. The rest will fall in line. Simon's like, kill them all, and then he killed all the garbage pail people. Yeah, that's what I call them.
I love that. That's a great the garbage pail people.
garbage pail
yeah.
people.
Man, that was a brutal scene, and I hated it. I was like, God, why
I
are
did
you
too.
doing
Like I was
this?
like, I didn't like them with their broken talk and everything like that, and the double crossing. But
Okay,
still,
yeah.
they didn't deserve that. And like for
I agree.
Simon to take up that role, I love Stephen Ogg. Don't get me wrong, Stephen Ogg, his voice is just funny to me, and I've seen him on Grand Theft Auto 5 and all that stuff. He's fantastic. But I started hating his guts at that part.
Yeah.
At that part. I was like, you really took the hate from Negan and put it onto yourself.
Absolutely.
And then Negan that whole scene, Negan just choking him out. He was like, no, I gotta kill all of them, just like I gotta kill you. I'm like, then you all hear, and I was like,
Yeah, and that's
I was
when
like, he's gone.
that was the
He's
first
gone.
time I started rooting for Negan.
Oh yeah. Well, I was rooting for Negan from the jump. As soon
I
as he
know.
said, "You got your pissing pants on yet?" I was like,
So all I
Negan,
got, okay,
let's
so
go.
you bring that up, and that's a great point.
Of course, we love Jeffrey Dean already because Jay and I are big Supernatural fans.
when he walks out of
Grey's
the
Anatomy.
trailer.
Yes, yes, and Grey's
Well, when
Anatomy.
he walks out of the trailer, I mean, he's sporting his duds. Now let's just be honest. I mean, he's wearing it right.
Oh yeah, he definitely is. The scarf and everything.
And he has got the attitude. I mean, Lucille is in his hand, and you're like, what is he got? What kind of? Oh my God, that's a bat with barbed wire. And it's like, oh, this is gonna be some wicked next level hurt.
Yeah, but he's so charismatic with it. Like when he hit Abraham, bah, got him. He said, "Take him like a champ," and he goes,
Oh my
and he
God.
said that. And then he's like, "Oh, did you hear that?" He said, "Suck my nuts." And like, knocked him out. I was like, "Oh, my gosh!" I was like, "Dude, I love this guy.
Yeah.
And I
like,
would-
keep him around, please."
You hate him because he just killed two of
Oh yeah,
our
Glenn, I
main
love
favorite
Glenn from the
characters.
beginning. I literally shedded like 3 manly tears when I saw Glenn get hit because they weren't even focusing on Glenn. He said, "So,
Yeah.
back to it. Bow! And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, wow. I
Yeah,
was
Glenn
like,
was
why?
the cherry on top.
But Glenn,
And that is where, The Walking Dead, the franchise itself, has always and will always take out main characters, whether we like it or not.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where we love to hate The Walking Dead. And, with all that being said, this Sunday, the 29th, will be the final episode for this season for Fear the Walking Dead. But fans won't have to wait too long. That following Sunday, October 6th, is the premiere of Walking Dead Season 10.
Excited.
Let's do the
Yes.
wave. Start it. Woo! And, of course, Season 8, we had the exit of Rick Grimes and Maggie Ree. We already kind of touched on that. What the hell happened to Maggie and baby Herschel?
Yeah.
What was it that you said?
They went with Georgie. The one that kept sending them letters to the hilltop. The one that she met on the road with she's like, I'll give you, I want to trade this or your records or anything like that for
they hinted
information.
to that was a possibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing of this, kind of irked me a little bit is that she never said anything to anybody else.
Well, Jesus and Tara were talking about it after that 6-year time jump on season 9, episode 5, I believe. The next episode where Tara and Jesus are in charge of the hilltop,
Right.
and they're talking about how Maggie's with Georgie, or has you heard anything from Maggie back yet from the twins and everything like that. So they go on basically speculating that she's with them now, and so hopefully, spoiler alert, the place is called the Commonwealth. So hopefully, when they bring that in there, Maggie and Herschel will come back.
I'm sure we're going to see something.
Yeah, I hope so, because in season 10 we are losing another major character. Another one's leaving the show. Is it a spoiler if I say it?
No,
A spoiler?
because the fans have been following.
Spoiler alert, just in case. But I cannot pronounce her real name. But Michonne is leaving the show. Yeah.
Oh, Denai. Yeah.
Denai.
Denai.
Yes.
Yeah.
Season 10 is her last.
Okay,
season.
and speaking of Denai, I have a replica of her.
Yeah, here, why don't you
her
go ahead
katana.
and,
Undeniable.
go
is-
ahead and pull that and show this to the...
It is a fully fledged actual katana.
Woo! Oh man, I've been taking Aikido.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
ready for
that's
it.
that's I've got to try to make some time.
Yeah, so we knew you'd enjoy that with. That's why we brought him.
Shave with that.
Now this
I
one right
actually
here.
have two swords.
Now this one right here you can actually use. However, it's more for display. This one right here is a full fledged super baddie, and that is made the old traditional style. So it's the metal, the blades folded, as you can see. You won't be able to see it on the camera,
Yeah.
but you can see how the layers were all folded together in the construction, and it's more traditional style katana.
It feels more solid.
See,
It-
and
yeah, and
and
it's
with
got
the
the
rumors that
balance is better.
Oh yeah.
see, and with the rumors that Michonne may be leaving, or she is somehow, season 9 opens 6 years into the future, and Judith is no longer a toddler. But she's about the age of Wednesday Addams at this point.
Right.
The Whisperers
They
continued.
just compare The Walking Dead to the Addams Family.
Just one kid. So that's so the Whisperers continue to be a threat to Alexandria, the Kingdom, Hilltop, Oceanside, and the saviors that remain. Those saviors who survived season 8 assimilated into the other communities. Alexandria, Oceanside, Hilltop, the Kingdom. With the exception of Negan, who was sitting in a jail cell at the end of season 9. But not forget the inclusion of Magna's group, who've proven themselves like-minded, and I really like the fact that, we're trying to include, I think The Walking Dead franchise has done a really good job in the way that Star Trek has. They've given you the inclusion of everybody with the individualism the way Star Trek did, and they presented it in a very mild way. And the inclusion of the deaf character and Connie,
Yes.
it's brilliant the way that they've done it. And when the Whisperers came and were starting to
Great introduction, by the way.
yes, great
Great
introduction.
introduction.
And she was stuck outside as they were creeping up, and she snatched up that baby, and the one
Did
whisper
not even hesitate.
didn't hesitate.
And she couldn't hear, and she
she
was
couldn't-
going around the cornfield.
Oh yes,
That was an intense
Oh
scene
yeah,
right there.
because it put you in her perspective, because they muffled out the camera. pretty much
my
to what she
God.
was hearing was
Really-
from a personal point of view, and the jump scares
Brilliantly
and that
shot.
shit. Oh yeah, it was like
Cinematography, that was just one of the most brilliantly, and I really need to go back and look and see who that was that
shout out to
that was
Sorry.
yeah. Can you read that?
Yeah.
Oh, I was saying shout out to John Garrett.
Yeah.
Oh
joining
yeah,
in.
heck yeah.
I see you on there.
Thank you. I got my contacts on, so I'm having trouble reading it. But yeah,
Get that Epsom salt bath, boy.
that's right.
Sorry.
That's right.
Well, I couldn't be at the gym tonight because I had this.
Yes, and we
I was at the
appreciate
gym
your-
tonight, and I
your sacrifice.
I'm here.
Yeah, whatever.
Boom.
So
roasted.
what do you guys think? What do you think about season 9, The Walking Dead?
I liked it. Like we had the fall of the kingdom.
Right.
Oh,
the kingdom's out.
And when they took out, Ezekiel and Carol's son,
Henry, I
When-
hated
oh.
Henry from the jump.
Yes.
Sorry.
I actually
did not like
loved it, but
Stephanie Hines. I see you in there too.
Hey,
Shout out
Turtle
to you.
Girl.
What's
How you
up?
doing? She's also part of Fanboys 918.
Yes.
If you guys didn't know.
that's right.
Absolutely.
She's our
Thank you
turtle
very
gal.
much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But back to season 9, the fall of the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Carol lost another child
And
as well.
that's a great way to put it.
Oh yeah.
Another, like she first started with Sophia, then it went
Yeah.
to Lily,
The two girls did.
and I
Hey,
can't remember
Joel
the other
Allison.
name.
What's up, Joel?
Well, Joel J.
Hey.
Airplane 918. So
But no, then they went on to. She just kept losing child after child after child after child after child,
Oh.
and then
Victoria.
then she left the king Ezekiel. They broke up. Like she gave him back his wedding ring. She's going back on her
I
separate
know.
ways too.
hey, Tori.
Hey.
Hola.
What up, Victoria Hines?
Yeah, they also had the Fall Kingdom. Carol lost another child. The split up between Ezekiel and Carol.
Yeah.
Jesus died.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Still waiting for him to be resurrected.
Okay, so yeah.
So, woo.
But that
I
is
did not like that.
that is exactly the kind of
They-
thing that we're talking about. Is the fact that they kill off these characters that were vested in these characters.
Yes.
We love these characters. They're the ones that are going to continue society on.
did
So this is
not.
And
obviously
then they
their.
take them out.
This is obviously their thing and their motive. However, when we do that, we have the opportunity to develop the bonds and relationships of the characters on the show, and to love them and support them or hate them. But when they do get taken out, then we get the opportunity to become more involved with other great actors
Very
and
true.
actresses.
Very
you know?
true.
And it also helps propel the story and continue what's going on and their mission.
See, the only thing that I see what you mean. I agree with you completely. I'm all for introducing new, more badass characters into it
Yeah.
that we get to know and
Especially
love
if
and
they're
grow
kids.
with. Yeah, the girl, as long as they're not demented. You know?
Oh
Right,
yeah,
right,
yeah, right.
like the sisters.
Oh.
Oh yeah. The only thing that it bothered me about Jesus' death, because for one, I like Jesus
Yeah.
as a character. He was Paul Rovia. You know, he's a nice, charismatic character. Also, but I feel like they didn't give him justice because in the comic book version of this, he is the one badass,
Yeah.
MMA martial artist throwing. The
He is the man.
And they
feet
just
hands
didn't
everywhere.
expand on that.
They didn't at all. They gave him that one scene where he was like he threw an axe kick and crushed the zombie's head, jumped off another zombie, was just decapitating them left and right, and that was his death scene.
Right.
And that was the death. I was like, okay, so you show like his potential 5 seconds before the dude's dead. Well, okay, so there's
But
that.
yeah, it's like
Right. I was
okay.
like, yay, Jesus!
Yeah,
you
you
had
did a
like
great
5 seconds
job.
of glory.
Oh, and
then
we
you came
never
back.
knew it.
That's it. You're done.
Right? Please
What?
come back.
You can't kill Jesus like that.
Exactly. It was okay. So if he was gonna die, I would
How
say
would
that
you
was.
have done it?
I would probably keep it the same way, but I would have expanded more on the character before that point because
Yeah.
being because I do MMA as well, and so like seeing it, I'm like. First off, I was like, how did he not see? How did he just stand there and get stabbed? But then I was looking at it, he's just walking around. You've been killing zombies for years. You know, you've been
You get
walkers.
complacent?
You've been killing walkers for years.
Ooh.
They don't really dodge your attacks, so
No.
you become adjusted to it. And you're like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
That's a
head,
good point.
head.
Yeah.
Then he was just going for the head. Dude ducked, and he probably overswung because he's just going to kill a walker.
Sure.
You know, dude ducked. And he's like, oh, over
Well,
here.
well, you're not supposed to duck.
and stabbed him straight through the heart. It went through his side. I read into it. It went through his side, straight through his heart, out to the side.
Yes.
And then once he ripped it out, he was
complacency
gone.
in the post-apocalyptic world of
Is a
of the walkers.
dangerous.
Oh my God! I mean, it's bad enough not paying attention to your surroundings when you're walking just down the stairs to go
Yeah.
get another glass of wine, and you trip and fall, and you break a leg. You slip on the ice and break a leg.
Talking about Geek Boy.
I'm just
I ain't
saying.
even gonna go there.
Oh God.
He spilled
just-
not one drop of my wine when he came back up. By the way,
Excellent. No, you
thank
can
you,
wait till
Geek
after
Boy.
we're done. But anyway, when we become complacent, whether what world we live in, when we become complacent, that is a great point on that.
Yeah.
That is when bad juju happens.
Exactly. I'll put it the same way. Bad juju.
Yes.
Bad
Because he's skilled.
Oh yeah,
But
because his
just-
skills had nothing to do with his death.
Exactly.
You're-
Exactly.
But I agree. We really didn't get to see those skills.
Yeah. And then like also like he was just, I don't know. I feel like he was a main character, but I
He
feel like
was
they
great.
portrayed him as more of a high secondary character.
I kind of disagree a little bit on that. Just the fact that I liked how they showed him as a leader. He was compassionate. He didn't put up with anybody's crap, but he tried to find a less, I don't want to say violent, but less confrontational way to handle things.
Yeah.
Well, he was a
which
leader
was
that
kind-
was forced into a lead position. That
He was.
really did not want to.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't want to be
He
a
was
leader.
very uncomfortable with it. He wanted to be. He's one of those guys. He is a.
How did
He's
we-
a serving leader. Okay, I want to be down in
Yeah.
the trenches. I want to sit there and
I'm in the front
and do
lines.
this. I'm going to be right there with you. I got your back. I'm going to be the one pushing and lifting you up.
Exactly. He wanted to be more outside than he did want to be inside.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do we know that he, we didn't know that he was going to be this Bruce Lee kind of a character. He was very calm and let's do peace,
Humble.
but humble,
Oh,
but
yeah.
yet he could take anybody out
Anybody out.
MMA. But yet
Yeah.
we didn't get to see that side of it, which is
Exactly.
probably good.
Yeah, it was probably. Ooh, I almost forgot. I'm totally like jumping from one concept to the other. But before I'm
That's
done,
right. Woo!
that's
We're gonna
season-
just that's right. Off script.
season 9, that horde, that
Oh!
Alpha showed Daryl.
Oh
That
yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Horde. I have a feeling that it's gonna play a part in season 10.
Yeah.
Because
I agree
it
with
played
you.
a big part in the comics. I'm not going to go into it, but it played a big part in the comics. I feel like that's going to come into.
They're
going to
use that. They're
Oh
gonna-
yeah,
absolutely.
Oh.
Huge. That horde was massive.
Well, with Cudlitz actually directing some of the
That is
episodes,
true. That is
I'm
true.
very excited to see
Rick-
Great
what
point.
they're doing in
And
season 10.
he is doing a great job.
He did. He already. I can't remember what episode he directed already. He
He's
directed
done
episode
Oh, he's
9.
no,
That's-
he's done more than two.
Really,
3.
He's been doing good. And
Yeah.
Andrew Lincoln's actually coming back to direct some of the episodes too.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Like Lincoln.
He said he missed the show way too much. And he's
See,
going to come back.
yeah, he's too invested into it.
That's well, a lot of the community, and the one thing about The Walking Dead, and we've progressed. We're 6 years down the line, and we've gotten to the point that we have these communities that are like-minded, and they all kind of agree. And now, with the support of Carol, Ezekiel has started pushing for this community agreement or charter, and so I love this concept. My dad actually moved us to Delaware in the very early 80s. So this one year, when on a school field trip, I actually got to touch the Liberty Bell.
Wow.
And this was before they removed it from the little building that was in front of Independence Hall. But for Ezekiel to recognize the common thread between it, all of the communities, and to drive it home with a written declaration or charter of peace between all of the communities who sign was a big win for me. I mean,
Well, and FYI fans, the Wonder Midget, she loves her history almost as much as freedom and individual liberty. She gets that history bug from her dad.
that's true.
Obviously.
I get that from my dad. I digress. The Pollyanna in me just appreciates the hope and community that Ezekiel's charter represents, which is contradictory to the initial reason we started watching this show, which is for the zombie killing.
I like the fact that they brought the charter into it because it's like you'd almost expect them, if they're like combining together and making rules and actually signing agreements with each other, you'd expect the walkers to be dying off, not be that much of an issue anymore.
Because eventually they're going to degrade and just fall apart.
Exactly.
You know?
But I love the fact that they're throwing it in there, and the walkers are still a big part of the show. There's still a lot of them in there. So they're like rebuilding civilization.
Right.
Without civilization, to kind of say. I mean, I know they have people and they build their little communities, but you can't really go out and do it. Like, you can't, like me right now, if I wanted to go out and walk my dog down the road to Walmart and then back, I'd probably go get eaten, and so is the dog. Right, but as of now, like,
if you try to do that in my neighborhood in East Tulsa, I guarantee you will.
Oh yeah, probably end up shot. Don't see me on. Never mind. I almost said, don't see me in North Tulsa ever. Ever.
By the way, I used to live Apache in Harvard.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I'm probably.
Well,
seriously, I mean, when they talk about the fact that we're ropers, greasers, I'm a North Side greaser for sure.
Yeah.
So I understand about watching your back and.
I don't like people behind me, period.
But the thing is that's where the whole community thing. There is an understood agreement, and all of our neighbors, we watched out for each other. Our neighbors in our neighborhood now, we watch out for each other.
Yes, we do.
You probably know your neighbors.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the fact that The Walking Dead is one of the best, I'd say, contemporary social commentaries, because it shows the worst part of people. The Walking Dead, okay? The apocalypse is like alcohol. And if you're an asshole before, you're an asshole even more so after the apocalypse.
We're getting a disagreement from our producers.
Yeah, no,
Because
it's because he's drinking. He's like, no, I'll take.
He has alcohol in his hand. I was like, what?
But that's okay because
Asshole.
our producer is happy.
Oh,
So our producer is a happy drunk, so we don't have to worry about there.
Not always.
Well, we could go on for hours.
He's a decent guy.
Yes, he is. Well, we could go on for hours, but we're going to leave some for the next podcast regarding The Walking Dead.
Before we leave you, we want to give a big shout out to Mr. Narwhal, Vanessa's little zipper neck. I'm so glad that you pulled through your surgery. We're
absolutely.
sending you good vibes and love.
All good juju.
And we want to thank him for all he does, Mr. Narwhal, Dwayne Robinson, as a founding member of and for Fanboys 918.
Absolutely.
I salute you.
Absolutely. And thank you to everybody who's joined us live tonight. If you enjoyed this live discussion, please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch now. Tune in to Geek Speak every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time on Facebook and YouTube.
All right, and as promised, tonight we're going to show y'all Dwayne's post-apocalyptic movie short, Wasteland, that he produced in 2015 for Fanboys 918. So thank you all for joining us tonight, and I'm Chocolate Deity.
And I'm Jay the Blues Man.
And I'm the Wonder Midget.
And we are Fanboys 918.